So I did a psychology degree and I absolutely loved it, but you couldn't really go and then be a psychologist. It's one of those kind of degrees where you come out and you're like, oh, I've got a psychology degree, but I can't be a psychologist because that's another however many years of training. And I decided, do you know what? I remember going to a friend's house for a party and she had a pencil on her desk and it was really nice branding and it was for an advertising agency. So I was like, wow, where's that from? She told me that she'd done kind of a placement there and I thought, that sounds amazing. So I used to come down to London, visit my then boyfriend, wear a black dress, go and sit in a coffee shop and just basically hound all of these different ad agencies that I'd found on Google and say, can I come and have an interview? And I got a job on reception. And that's how I got into it. And I just because I didn't really know exactly what else to do. And I liked the idea that you could, I don't know, do something in branding. I thought that was really cool. But honestly, I was good at it, but I hated it because I'm not naturally that good at admin. And I worked as an accounts executive and it was all just admin. And I was good at it because I knew I was bad, so I couldn't trust myself. So I had to work so hard. And I remember going into an appraisal and they said, you know, Anna, if you just work a little bit harder on this and that, you can get a promotion. I burst into tears because I thought, I don't want to get a promotion. I don't like it at all. So
That's a harsh realization.
Yeah. But I think sometimes we just kind of end up on this, I don't know, like a conveyor belt. And you almost feel like you just look around you to see what you should want. And then you go down that route. And sometimes we go too far down that route and then we feel like we can't step off. And I feel grateful that I did step off.
I think it's incredible to step off. And also because I think that we're sold this idea that, yeah, you've got to get on a path. You can call it a path, but really it's kind of, it's a path that has momentum. So it is like one of those walking things at the airport. Yes. But sometimes you have to vault over the side or run in the other direction because it's the wrong one.
Yeah, and I ended up working for temp agencies and doing all sorts of kind of data input and admin. I worked in Sainsbury's head office switchboard, which I flipping loved.
Why did you love that?
I just loved the variety of people that I was sat with, and I loved racing to pick up the phone. And you know, we'd have these call logs to see who'd logged the most calls, and we were all just competing, and it was fun because I decided at that point that I was going to do my psychotherapy training. So I'd sit there with my books as well and kind of read between redirecting calls around the building.
Interesting.
So I loved some of those jobs.
And I know that you'd done the degree, so it was kind of maybe it was an obvious thing once you decided that marketing wasn't what you were going to do. But what was the kind of final push that meant, okay, I'm going to commit to this again?
So I'm trying to think. I knew that I loved the psychology, but a lot of places wouldn't take you until you're 25.
Mm-hmm. And you were how old at this point?
I was 23, 24. So I think it was because of the life experience thing, because when you're 25, then you've got all the life experience you need. You've got it all under your belt. But yeah, so I had to wait until I was 25. So that's what I did.
You had to buy some time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So was it a big risk though? Was it something that felt like, given all the work that you'd done up to that point, because you'd still put some years into your other life, if it were, did it feel like a big jump? Did you have people saying, is that really a good idea?
I think I was just so excited. I think I'd worked out that the corporate kind of, the advertising world was just not for me. And I think that would just cause me to reassess things. And I think I was going through a really hard time mentally. I was really, really low. I was feeling really depressed, and a lot of the things we're going to touch on will kind of give insight into how that came about. And I really think I just wanted to help people. That's what gave me purpose. That's what made me feel valid and like I deserved my place in the world. And I think because I was feeling so low, I felt even more driven to make that my job. I feel good when I'm helping people. So therefore, I'm going to formalize that and make that a thing for me. And that's going to be my life. I'm going to help people.